My name is Matthew, and I teach Diploma in Animation Level 5 at the City Road campus. So I specialize in 3D, and I think it's pretty obvious looking at my screen right now that I am going to do something related to 3D modeling. So the topic we're going to cover today is UV unwrapping. I know it's going to strike fear, panic, and so many people who have just started with 3D modeling. I know I've been there, done that. Now, the reason why I chose that is the reason. It's because it is scary. It definitely strikes panic in anyone who starts or who's just starting with modeling. Now I'm going to help you understand it a little bit better and make you make the process a little bit easier for you to work with. Right. I'm gonna start by showing you what we're going to work with. Is a model I've been working with for I think a few months back. I started working on it a few months back. The model is complete, texturing is done, everything is complete, but I just wanted to use this because it looks scary, not just visually, but for the fact that you have to unwrap so many different parts for this model. So as you can see, every single part is a separate piece, and we will be unwrapping some of these, and I will show you the technique that I use. So when I say technique, before we go to that, let me explain what UV unwrapping is. So UV unwrapping is basically a process where you convert a 3D object into a 2D object so you can paint the textures on it. So that's basically UV unwrapping in a nutshell. So when I look at this model, I try to convert this 3D object into a 2D object. So let's start by doing that. So I have this 4-step process, which has helped me so much, and I'm going to show you what those 4 steps are. So the first step is planar projection. So what I would do is project the camera or the view the camera is seeing onto the UV plane. And the second step is to cut or sew those edges wherever there are cuts. If you need cuts, you'll cut them. If you need to sew those cuts, you can sew them. That's step 2. Step 3 is unfolding the UVs, or the projection that you made cuts to. You unwrap them and make them flat. Finally, you lay them out into this one tile where you can take it into a 2D software where you can paint the textures on. Right, so let's get started. First thing I want to unwrap the UVs on is this part here. It looks really scary with so many different weird shapes going on. But the first step is going into UV editor. This is what the UVs are looking like because I just did an automatic mapping just to get started with. The first step, like I said, is selecting all the UV shells and going into create and click on the box next to Planar. It gives you these 3 options here where you can choose to project from the x-axis, y-axis, or z-axis. Now I'm going to use z-axis, which is the blue arrow here, which is from the front. So I click on z-axis and click on apply. Now you can see here, this is how it looks from the front, and that's how it looks from the front. It kind of looks squished because it's trying to fit it into that box there. Now, once you get this, we are going to cut some of these edges to unwrap it properly. So this process will work for literally any shape, any model you work with. Basically, what you do is cut the object that you have in half. Just split it in half, or slice it in half, or however you want to call it. Just select the edge that runs perfectly at the center. If you don't have an edge that runs all the way around the object, create one. Just make another edge loop. Make sure that it cuts everything that it touches, and then you can just cut it. Now you will have, I think I missed some of these edges. I think that's everything. Press Ctrl U to unfold. Merge these. Okay. I'll move and sew these edges together. Move and sew them. Just delete history. It crashes again. Unfold this. what do you know? It unfolded. All right, cool. I was expecting it to crash, but it didn't. That's good. I'll just sew some of these edges again, just a little bit more, just get a more cleaner look. All right, so that's about it. That's nice and flat. Now you can just take this into a 2D software and start texturing it. Oh, almost forgot. It has to stay inside that one square for any 2D software to read. So once you have this sorted, all you have to do is just press Control L. That should lay it out inside that one tile. Now, if you have other meshes done as well, you can just drag. You can just select all of them at the same time and chuck them in there. It's as easy as that. So once you have all of these unwrapped, they all follow the same pattern that I did. Selecting them right at the center, splitting them in half, and then just merging back the vertices or the face or the edges that needs to be merged back. So once you have all of that sorted, you should be able to texture this and get your final result. That's about it. That's everything to do about UV unwrapping. Let me show you a sample of how this guy looked once I finished rendering. So that's how it ended up looking after the texturing and rendering. So set up the lights and make it look nice and textured. So that's how it looks in the end. But yeah, pretty straightforward. All the process that I followed is exactly the same as what I showed you. Yeah, just take some practice and you'll get there. All right, thanks for listening.